What is good? What's going on, everyone? This is your guy, Pat Bernard, aka the Gobbler, aka Pat from Amber. And of course, alongside my guy, Soldier Steve. I don't want to butcher your last name. I took a gamble this past Thursday, and I got mush mouth as it is. So we're gonna call Soldier Steve. Welcome to the program. It sounds more professional too. But Steve,
There
I'm
we
gonna
go.
go right. There you go. So, Steve, I'm going to go into it. First half, it was a defensive battle, back and forth action. Teams trying to figure out one another's playbook. And then the second half, that's where the real stuff got started because Atlanta comes out with a 2-0 lead. Kind of smelled blood in the water a little bit after Andre Blake leaves the first half. And then all of a sudden, there was an UA sighting. And UA finds the back of the net. And then Wagner spots the back of the net. And then it just kind of – and then after that, I thought it was going to get the third goal. But no, they waved it all sides. But we got one more. We got one more guest at hand. He made himself out of Dolan's bar. And now he is he's usually in the press box sitting next to me. But he made himself out of Dolan's bar. And our man, J.D. Walker, another beat reporter in the house. What's up, J.D.?
What's up, guys?
Is that
The
saying goodbye?
Union have snatched a point from the draws from yeah. As I said, as Pat said, I was just as Dolan's. So we have snatched a draw from the jaws of defeat. There we go. Words work better when you sound them out.
Yes.
Correctly. We got this.
So yes. So JD, I don't know. It's usually like I said, this team is. I thought this was a back and forth matchup, going back and forth, trying to scout one each other out. And then all of a sudden, the sparks start to really happen in that second half. Of course, like I was just telling Steve here, Steve, I was saying that it looks like things were getting shook up in the beginning. It looks like Atlanta was smelling blood in the water a little bit, and then the Union bounced back. So, Steve, I'll go to you. Your thoughts on the entire matchup?
The first half, I think the ref did a real good job at keeping, letting everyone know I have control of this game. A lot of yellow cards. First half, like you said, teams really feeling each other out. I was really impressed with Atlanta, with the amount of players that they had out, how they came out and really defended well. And then that second half, like you said, it kind of like they sharks smelling blood in the water. But the resiliency of this team, they didn't lose their composure. Going down 2-0, they continued to play their game. I think Lowe had a real good first half, keeping them keeping no goals. I'm a little worried about Blake, with how many injuries he's gone out with now in as many games. So I know that's something I'm definitely looking at. But just a gutsy overall performance, getting this tie, like JD said, from the jaws of death, and coming back and taking 1 point in Atlanta. So to remain undefeated. So I'm happy with it.
And how about you, JD? What was your initial? First of all, God rest his soul. My man Gus would have been rolling around right now trying to figure out why Bedoya was in the starting lineup. Can you embrace what happened? Why did he get the call?
I think it was a numbers game. Jack has been banged up. Ua is coming off an injury. So these are the games that Ali is best in. Yes, Ali is best in a role coming off of the bench in the final 30. But if you need him for a spot start, especially in a game like this where you have a starter or two who's a little banged up, this is fine. Like, 190 every game is, you see the point of diminishing returns fall off a cliff. But a spot start, final 20, final 30, that is El Capitan's role at this point in his career. So, rest his soul. Gus might be going nuts a little bit, but hey, a point is a point. A point is a point, and it is April 14th. Almost 2 months into the MLS season. Blake has been banged up and not playing half the games, and this is now the second MLS game in a row that we have seen Blake try to go, and then and something happens, he's out. I mean, I know that you guys have taken my $5 DVD joke and run with it, but
yes.
the Oscar-winning flick, the Oscar-nominated flick picked out of the DVD bin is Oliver Semler.
Yeah.
Out of everything that we were talking about in the offseason about, okay, the Union needs to bring in more goal scorers, but what they did bring in was a legitimate backup goalie. For the last few years, Jillian and Kyle, I know, talked about it on the show a show last week. That you really don't need to. Semla has been an absolute clutch for the Union this year. The Union, none of us expected to need a backup goalie as much as the team has this soon in the season before the middle of April.
Yeah.
But we have, and Semla has done a fantastic job. Yes, he allowed two kick goals today, but as Jim himself has said, this, a goalie coming in cold in the middle of a game, filling in for an injury is one of the toughest things in the sport. So for them to give up 2 goals like that and come back and get those 2 goals back really says a lot about this team.
Yeah,
and Almada had a chance. I was going to say, Almada had a chance at towards the end of the game, that in the 94th minute, that Oliver came up, Zemla came up with a big save there. So just to add on to what you're saying, that having that person as a backup in key spots is huge.
Yeah, so same. When I look at it though, when I look at this team, first of all, I'm going to address today's issue, right? You mentioned about Andre Blake going out. You mentioned about him leaving, and he did. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Something looks like something was bothering his lower back. Something happened, and like you just said, JD, for him to leave now twice in back-to-back games that he's played in, I don't know. It's Father Time catching up. I know it's way too early to say that. I don't know what's going on. I know is that what you said is true. Is that we have a serviceable backup willing to come in now. He got a little awakened when he came in and faced an Atlanta team that he's never saw before. An Atlanta team that's really, really hungry. An Atlanta team that's got playmakers. An Atlanta team's got it all, especially in that house where they're undefeated. And he got to see why. They were they created plays. And then I will say, as much as Samuel had a rough going early in that second half, he came up huge, really huge. And if it wasn't for him, this would be a 3-2 win Atlanta, because that last play, Armada was wide open and takes a shot, and he comes up and makes a complete save.
Another thing about the final few minutes is the fact that the Union had a chance developing, and then they blew the whistle in the middle of it. There was a goal, there was a chance developing. Usually the officials are pretty good about letting a chance play out, and then once it goes out of bounds, then they blow the whistle. I've heard a few people say that that's one of the things they don't like about soccer is you don't know how much time is actually left. But for something like this, it's just okay, let this play out. But today they didn't let it play out. There was a chance right in the middle of a chance. They blew the final whistle, and even the guys on TV said, as I was walking, because I had it on my phone, I had Apple playing while I was walking back from Dolan's. Fantastic friend of the show, by the way. If you're in the Delco Ridley area, absolutely check that spot out. They got something coming up with John Kruk, a wiffle ball tournament with John Kruk coming up next month.
Yes, sir.
I believe you have more information on that, Patrick. But absolutely put that out there. There's some good folks down there. But
Yeah.
this was. I thought they were done at 2-0.
Yeah.
I thought they were done at 2-0. I said, all right, they went on the road. Winning on the road is hard in this league, and they just got jumped. I was already writing it off, but you shouldn't write this team off.
No, they battled down to the wire. Steve, I'm going to go right to you. And again, kind of piggyback what JD just said. The team looks like they were. By the way, is that iced tea? By the way, I hope that's iced tea.
It is not iced tea.
Oh, great! Oh, we got to try to take it easy. We got to save you. We got to save that energy. But listen, Steve, I'm going to go right to you.
It is Irish iced tea. I'll put it that way.
Oh, jeez. Well, we got to try to take it easy on that one. But listen, Ua again looked really sharp in that second half. What can you take about some of his big plays there, Steve?
Definitely an ill-advised pass on Atlanta on the Ua goal. It was like, whoa, and good composure on him, because we've all seen him have one-on-one opportunities and come up empty-handed, and for him to be able to put that one behind the net, I think good for him. Like in basketball, when you're constantly missing, good to see it go through the net. But then late in the game, he had a 5-on-2 opportunity, and just a horrible pass out there to Sullivan that they had a real great opportunity, I think. But the energy that he brought off the bench, where you normally see Bedoya in that role, he really, I think, was that spark that they needed to be able to get that lift to get those 2 goals.
I like the configuration of Uwa coming off the bench for a final 30.
Yeah.
He put the energy.
Uwa doesn't play a full 90 anyway. So,
right.
If you're as a striker who is Uwa scores his best the goals the most by being in the right place at the right time. Like, he doesn't always get a first chance run because usually a lot of times over the past year and a half, I've seen him where he has the run and it just doesn't work out. He too early, too late, whatever happens, it's part of the game. But since Uwa doesn't play a full 90 anyway, much in the same way as Ali, maybe is he better coming off the bench at I know it's hard to say a DP that you're paying the money that you are that is not starting. I understand that's a hard pill to swallow from a management standpoint.
Yeah.
But as far as the 11 on the pitch that we are seeing right now, I like Uwa coming off the bench.
And I do. I mean, like you say, he's a great spark. Again, if it was that goal set, spoke volumes to that bench, to that whole team. Like, hey guys, we're still here. Like, we're not, we're down 2-0, and one goal would change the whole philosophy and the whole landscape of that team, and that's what it did. And then you had, again, he was just, to me, I think, whether you want to call it questionable, offsides or whatever, you can. But I mean, I think he did fine. Again, just being that late spark, I would rather see him start because I'd rather get on the scoreboard early. But like you said, at that point, it's in either or. So
depending on matchup, you can go either way.
Yeah.
Like you could have like Uwa starting and then Bedoya coming off the bench, or vice versa, depending on the matchup, depending on the team. Like I'm over the first 2 months of the season, I'm seeing a lot more combinations, a lot of scenarios that I didn't see coming in. Let him cook. We have there's options here. It might not seem like much. Like, we see a lot of this. Like, okay, the Union are where they are. From a formation standpoint, you usually see the same thing. The whole league says the same thing. All right, basic pitch diamond. We know what we're getting here. But there's multiple dimensions within that same formation, and within that, especially depending on the matchup with the team. If you're playing against a team like Atlanta, yes, Atlanta, like Giakoumakis wasn't a factor today. Almada was in and out, but absolutely. Leagues Cup is where you could really have some fun with this, and you could even put a lot of the B team in, and still do a lot of damage within that system.
Yeah, and so Steve, let me ask you a question. Was it that much harder for Atlanta? What was harder, the Atlanta defense, or them just bringing too much pressure to the Union's or that offense just bringing too much pressure to the Union's defense? What seemed like what was working better for Atlanta? Because for a while, it was like they were playing a good, both defensive game, and then Atlanta was just pouring on the offense, especially in that second half, just pouring.
I think their subs were very timely for them, and their subs gave them a spark as well. But I think them going into half knowing that Blake wasn't going to be in goal gives you a different mindset when you're coming out, and seeing that they had opportunities in the first half. Almada had a few opportunities that were saved, but I think some of the players that were able to step in for the injured Atlanta players, they really showed their opportunity, and I think they performed really, really well. It's hard to play in a place like Atlanta. I think both teams, JD mentioned it before, both teams are undefeated at home. It's very hard to score on that team. Both teams came into this game with a +5 goal difference. So I think that it was more of their game plan on their attack coming at our defense that really kind of opened things up for them in the second half, and especially knowing that we didn't have Blake in goal.
Yeah, and that's like I said, that's when he got dinged up. I'm thinking, okay, Alva, Semlitz is going to come in and do his thing, and then, like you said, it was just that, Semlitz, you're against a real team this time. You're against one of the elite, top players in the league. So that's where he had to keep his head on a swivel. Of course, Angry Anthony checking in. What's up, Angry Ant? He says, "Hey guys, what's up, Angry Ant?" Again,
what's up, Angry Anthony?
Yeah, he's always. Trust me. Give him about 5 more. Give him about 5 more minutes in this show. He'll start steaming up. It's not going to take him long. But yeah, it's like I said. So
give him a hoagie to choke on. He'll be fine.
JD, I'm going to go to you. What could have Jim Curtin done different coaching wise? Were you happy with the diamond? What could he have done different as far as formation or something different that could have got this team the W?
Diamond, you stick with what works. In a game like this, you're just happy to get a point. I'm very happy to get a point, especially being down 2-0 in the position that they were. For them to come back, score 2 goals, and steal that point is fantastic. They snatched a draw from defeat. I was already like at 60 when I looked up and they were down 2-0. I thought, all right, it's a good run. Road game. It's hard to win on road. I'd already mentally accepted it. And then I saw 2-1. All right. Okay, good to not get a clean sheet. You still make your presence known. Roll some momentum over to the next game. And then, and that was a sweet Ua goal. But then the second goal, and they managed to tie it up and take the point.
Yeah.
This is MLS season is a marathon, not a sprint. And now that the Union are already out of CONCACAF, which is both the best thing and the worst thing for this team. Let's put on Monterey pom pom
100%.
because the main thing, and something I heard this week, which is worth noting, and a big note for this team, is that while the Union are not actively playing their way in through CONCACAF, if Monterrey wins through the formula where it reverts back to other countries and highest point differentials and like highest FIFA points over the same season, if Monterrey wins, the Union are in the Club World Cup next year, which, in addition to being an awesome honor in itself, as far as being able to take the field with the highest teams of the world, even if they get blown out, even if they get dropped 6-0, you know what just appearing in this tournament means? 50 million big ones for this team. Pay some transfer fees, even if Jay pockets half of it, and then you put a few of that, you put a percentage of that into teams, into the players on the team. Pay some transfer fees. We have some new DPs coming up. We already know Carranza is on his way out, either mid-season or at the end of the season. He's playing like a man who wants to get paid. Let's roll with it.
Yes. And how about here?
Like I'm an old school guy, but also like I never begrudge any of these players. Get your money. Go get paid. Whether if it's in MLS, Europe, South America, I don't care. I want to see these players be successful, and Philly is part of their journey. Whether it's as part of the U20 team, part of the U.S. national team, Hungarian national team, whatever national, Venezuela, wherever they're from, I want these players to see success, and Philly and our fan base to be a big part of it. Maybe it's easier for me to accept as a college basketball guy, so I'm used to players moving on. So, and I'm used to, and as NIL hits, the sport with a ton of bricks, I also know about the importance of Moneyball. Moneyball is what we have here at the Union.
Yeah,
we all like a lot of fans like to dump on them, but for this, but money put in versus results. This is fantastic. Let it ride.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy the rest of the year.
Yeah, listen. Let me roll fast. Go around the league for you guys yesterday. And first of all, this idiot. How did you miss the game, Angry Ant? It was on Fox. There was no way you should have missed it, Angry Ant. Total dope.
No. If Anthony's married, he was probably like stuck at Home Depot or something.
Oh yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that Union get into the club. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He means Club World Cup.
Okay.
If the Union show up in Club World Cup, Jim said this in a press conference. If the Union make Club World Cup through whatever means, whether it's obviously it's backing in through Monterrey at this point, $50 million. That is what 5 times the Union's payroll this year. That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Mr. Sugarman has the financial, let's say not the same financial power as some of the private equity folks that are just, bukkake money onto their teams. The Union do not have that, but the Union can make the money they have work. And I think 50 million to the club, 50 million into the stadium, 50 million into new players, that goes a long way.
Listen, let me get right into it though. I gotta go around the scoreboards of the MLS, guys. Here goes some scores from yesterday, in case if you missed it. Portland and LAFC tied at 2-2. Montreal and Cincinnati. Montreal taking the upset, 2-1 over the Cincinnati. Charlotte with a 3-2 win over Toronto yesterday. Orlando finally trying to crawl out of the basement with a 3-2 win over DC. NYFC continue with a 2-0 win over New England. And then you have a couple tie games with Chicago Fire and the Red Bulls, DC, Dallas, and Seattle. Houston taking a dub over, man, that Minnesota team. Ever since they caught a beating here, they've yet to get a W. Inter Miami. Speaking of, congratulations for the MLS, drawing 72,000 live in Cincinnati yesterday. But however, Inter Miami went 3-2. Salt Lake City and Columbus go 0-0. Colorado travels out to San Jose and takes a 3-0 win. And the game I told you, Steve, on Thursday, I went to see LA Galaxy and Vancouver 3-1 LA Galaxy. And of course, right now you have today's game. You have the Philadelphia Union tying it up with Atlanta, and they have Battle of Texas, right? That's going on right now. I think they got a game going on right now on Fox. Yes. Sorry, St. Louis.
Yeah, Austin was the second game on Fox today.
So you got a doubleheader today. So, anyways, but that'll be just about it. Here goes.
St. Louis Austin is 0-0 at 23rd minute.
Pat, I was busy, not like you, trying to read about soccer on the internet. It's quiet, you. But anyways, listen. And of course, you guys want to know our shows were sponsored today, obviously by ShareTicketSound.com, family operated owned since 1946. Guys, hit them up. Use the promo code EOP10 by saving yourself 10% off. ShareTicketSound.com. Again, guys, and if you need any working comps, medical vehicle, personal injury, criminal law, hit on my man David R. Cherry Esquire 610-565-0300. And of course, Philly Sports Trips heading out opening day. Eagles taking on the Packers. You're not going to miss it. Sign up today for all your trips because you guys can see it. Philly Sports Trips is going to be busy. Going out to Baltimore near Father's Day. Matter of fact, Father's Day weekend. Going up to Boston. Going up there, Pittsburgh, around, and then of course around 4th of July you got heading out to Wrigley Field. So a lot of stuff. And listen, Philly Sports Trips just not covers Phillies, they cover the Eagles, huh?
Sherry's will hook you up. You got all the good trips.
Yeah. Listen, Philly Sports Trips not only covers the Phillies, the Eagles, but they also cover Flyers, Union. They got it all. They have it all over there. So, guys, hop over there today. But listen, most importantly, we're going to wrap up. Let me go to Steve. Steve, since you're new to the program, let me give you your 3 stars of the game.
Oh, 3 stars of the game. So you just do players? You're just talking about players? 3, 2, 1?
Yep. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. I'm going to go ahead and go 3. Let me give 3 to Ua.
And we got to all be different
in that goal. All be different. Yep. All right. Number 2, give me Kai. That goal was incredible. And the number 1 star, Bedoya going 90 minutes, stepping up, being the captain.
I like it,
and help leading this team to a win or to a tie. Come back, tie.
I'll go with
all right.
Bedoya. I'll go Bedoya, Ua, and Semla.
Ooh.
Even though Semla did allow 2 goals, I will give him credit because coming in cold is the hardest thing to do in the sport. But he also had a lot of good. He had some good saves down the stretch, and Kai with that goal was just fantastic.
That was I'm
gonna go a little different as well. I might lead to one of yours. I'm gonna go 3. I'm gonna go Carranza. I'm gonna go 3 Carranza because Carranza took a beating today. I mean, you saw him favoring the shoulder. He was just getting
he got
all day today.
Yeah,
And he kept on coming back. I'm going to go number 2. I'm going to go. I'm going to go Simla as well. I think Simla was really tight between, like I say, he got the jitterbugs knocked out of him, and then he kind of doubled down. If it wasn't for him, like I said, he saved the game. And then I'm going to go number 1. I'm going to go Wagner again. Just just to tie things up off that people, that freak, the header, and then he just finds it back in net from distance and goes top shelf. I thought he did a phenomenal job. So I'm going to go Wagner as my star player. So that'll be all for me. But Steve, where can the people find you on X and so forth?
You can find me at Soldier Steve 24/7, and then on Facebook you can find me Steve Fuentes.
I'm not even going to entertain this, you dope.
I'm JD Walker on Facebook, at StreampunkENT on Twitter. You can find my writing at our homepage on at www.streampunkent.com. YouTube is where we do our best work. Stream at Streampunk Sports on YouTube. Also at Streampunk Soccer is where I post our union content. I dabble between soccer and basketball, and other folks on our team do great work covering other sports. We have a guy covering Albany Firewolves soccer. Pat, I know you do the Wings. So we got some good stuff. Check us out at streampunkent.com, at streampunkent on X, Twitter, at Streampunk Soccer on YouTube, and Streampunk Sports. I cover basketball and soccer myself. We have everything, every sport you want between Philly and New York. We kind of fall everything and everywhere in between.
All right, guys, and for myself, you guys can catch me, Pat from Ambler, on X, right there on Twitter. So it's you guys can catch me there. And again, next Thursday, I will be back in the house with that guy right there, doing some more union coverage. We're going to do some union coverage come this Thursday on the attacking third, and then of course right back at it. Just talking, I know we all know they're on the break on a nice little bye, but we'll get into more news about MLS and the union and so forth. But guys, I want to say thank you for hopping in, JD. Thanks for stopping in. My man Soldier Steve, thanks once again, guys. Go give Soldier Steve a follow. Soldier Steve looks like he's making his way into the official member of the attacking third. So crawling in there. So but
trying.
Yeah, we're making things happen. Oh, here we go.
I should get used to it. I should get used to this guy then, right? What do you call him, Angry Ant?
Yeah, Angry Ant is blaming me for making head coach cry. I didn't make him cry. He cried.
He's your resident troll.
Yes. I asked a question, and the man cried. I don't know what else to say. Angry Ant. But anyways, guys, let me let you go. I will tell Steve the story once I get off air. Okay? You're proud of yourself there, Angry Anthony. So anyway, guys, have a great afternoon, and we'll see you guys next week.